people, in today's video we are going to see the recap of Love, Fate, Marriage and Divorce Season 3. Let's begin! Sion tells Kate Soben has some drinks and he doesn't want to go to an empty house and wants to sleep in their house. The kids are welcoming to this idea. A tipsy Soben goes to Sion's house with 4 bags full of snacks. They all eat and spend some quality time together. Hyangi tells him that he is already a family member. Soben decides to eat the leftovers, considering it's a sin to leave food. But Sion tells him that in their house they appreciate leftovers. Soben is given the study room to sleep. Hyangi tells her mother happily that finally their home seems complete again, which makes Sion smile. At 3:40 am, Sion wakes up to check on Soben, who is sleeping cozily, hugging the pillow. She wraps the blanket on him and leaves. The next morning, Sion and kids have a breakfast with Soben and he appreciates the food, telling it's his first time having a proper breakfast. After the sauna, Sahyun and Boo Hae-rong, being possessed by Songwon, decides to take a walk. They talk about winter and Jongbin. Sahyun suggests to hold a wedding again, to which Songwon says she feels the same. On their way back home, she buys some winter hats and shoes for Jongbin from a street vendor. After checking on Jongbin, Boo Hae-rong and Sahyun blast the news of them getting back together to his parents, which makes them happy. Munho assures Boo Hae-rong that Sahyun won't disappoint her again. She asks about Bada and he tells her that she's pregnant again and says that they say the shy ones are the most brazen ones. Dongma asks his dad what kind of daughter-in-law he wants. He says since he is in his mid-30s, 8 years younger woman would be fine, and adds in old days 25 above women are considered old. As he gets to know about Pyong being 41 and is a divorcee with a daughter, he straight away rejects her. But Dongma ain't gonna take a no for an answer. His dad tries to convince him, saying that it would break the heart of his mom, but Dongma is fixated in marrying Sapyong because it's his life and he can live it the way he wants. Their argument continues the next morning over the breakfast at a hotel in Gangnam. His dad tells him if he continues to marry a single mother Sapyong, then he will donate their wealth to a society. Dongma retaliates to it, saying him to forget seeing his grandchildren once they have one. His dad says that Pyong is over 40 and Dongma says that doesn't mean she is infertile. Sapyong is sleeping on the couch for Danshu, as puppies tend to cry if they are left alone. Jia comes and offers to take turns, and this takes Pyong to her flashback when her dad gave her a puppy whom she named as Mimi, and how her dad slept on couch for the puppy. Jia says Mr. So is good as he gets along with them very well. The next day, Jia sends Dongma a picture of Danshu. Munho is worried what if Boo Hae-rong changes her mind and gets worried if Sahyun has a mental shock, which confuses him mentally, but his wife comforts him. Sion goes to Park Hae-run's house to drop in the food for the last time. She tells him kids will be staying with her and he can meet them as he's entitled to, and tells him to stop being a pity party, and he asks her if she's enjoying stealing, referring to her lavish lifestyle. She says why shouldn't she, as Ban is taking a good care of her and her kids. As she leaves, she crumbles to the wall, being upset and sad. Dongma calls Sapyong, and tells her that they will shift to the new unoccupied flat in the townhouse where Soben lives. She asks him if his parents doesn't want to meet her. He lies her about that and tells that it will be uncomfortable for Jia to stay around elders. Uram goes to meet Danshu and tells Jia to hold the puppy so that he can take a picture of her puppy in order to send to his older sister Hyangi. The three ladies are for an afternoon bath. Boo Hae-rong tells that she cannot attend their weddings as she is marrying too. Pyong and Sion are excited at first, but when they get to know about she getting back with Sahyun, they are shocked. When asked why is she marrying Sahyun, Boo Hae-rong tells Jongbin being one of the reasons. As she leaves for a quick bath, Pyong asks Sion what if she gets pregnant with her child. Sion says this goes to show that they are meant to be together. They then discuss about how So brothers are head over heels in love with them and they get happy. Pyong tells that she likes the fact that Dongma is dominating. Dongma and his dad gets to know about Mrs. So's death. The trio take selfies and are happy about their lives taking this turn. Seon tells Bo Hae-rong that Dongma calls Sapyeong cutie, and Seon gets teased by Pyong when she says that Sobin slept at her house the last night. Their happiness doubles when they get calls from Sobin and Dongma, but only to go to zero knowing about Dongma's mother's death. Sobin goes to pick up Seon and kids to the funeral, while Sapyeong sits in her room and feels sad. Shin Yushin goes to Dongmi's room to give her some supplements as she seems tired lately, and she happily takes them, which doesn't go well with Amy. She then goes to Gabin and questions, did we all choose the wrong man? Gabin says, not me. I'm the one who left him, remember? And says she will keep her distance from men now and will only focus on her career. She gets a call from Bo Hae-rong, who requests her to meet her so that she can ask her a favor. Bo Hae-rong tells Gabin about she getting back with Sahyun and requests her to sing this song on their wedding. Gabin doesn't want to, but she doesn't refuse, which makes Amy feel it's absurd and angry when Gabin calls her and tells her about this. Gabin tells Amy that this way she can go to their home and check on Jongbin from time to time. After the call, Amy couldn't hold her anger anymore and hits the cleaver on the chopping board, scaring Dongmi. It's the day of wedding. Munho asks the makeup artist to make him look younger, and he gets happy with the makeup results. Sahyun and Bo Hae-rong walk down the aisle as Gabin sings the song You Are My Destiny. We only see Bo Hae-rong over 8 seconds, and the rest of the time we only see Songwen walking down the aisle with Sahyun and her montages showing her past good and bad times from the series. She sees Jongbin and cries in happiness. After the wedding, they both go to their honeymoon. Ejong thinks to take Jongbin to Daejeon for some days, but Munho says no as Bo Hae-rong is all over Jongbin these days, and he says that Jongbin is a lucky one because of him, Sahyun and Bo Hae-rong got back together. After coming back from honeymoon, we see Bo Hae-rong holding Jongbin and pampering him, and then we see Songwen holding him and singing him a lullaby. Park Hae-run goes to golfing where he runs into Dongmi. They then go to eat and have some drinks. They start talking to each other casually. He calls her Nuna and she calls him Don Singh. As she gets to know he couldn't get to marry his mistress and see on marrying, she tells him to be a man and wish her good. She then concludes their meeting, telling him to call her anytime and she will give him company. He gets excited listening to this. He then calls the designated drivers for them and opens the door for Dongmi, promising that it will be his treat the next time. Dongma is sad over his mom's death while his dad is drowning himself in alcohol. He tells Dongma that he can marry Sapyeong after 49th day rites and says what's there to life, just live as you want and be happy. Pyong goes to Dongma's house to visit his dad. There she impresses him with her knowledge regarding health and food as she suggests him to not to skip meals and instead have some portions of naturally flavored ice creams. She then serves him the ice cream she bought for him and it's pistachio and tells him that it not only has nutrition value but also lowers the cholesterols. He tells Dongma to call Seon and Ban too. Seon doesn't want to go empty-handed, so she buys some baked sweet potatoes. Both the daughter-in-laws serves him the potatoes. He eats one and asks the ladies if they could move in and live together after their marriage, which doesn't go well with Ban and he gets sad. Despite of noticing this, Seon goes ahead and says, I would love to, followed by Sapyeong. Dongma is the only one who gets concerned about Sobin. Amy goes to Pyong's house to give Jia a school bag as she's starting her middle school. But Jia is going to library with her friends and Sapyeong is not at home. So Amy offers to give it to the housekeeper. She, being nosy as always, asks the housekeeper if Pyong went to golfing, and housekeeper ends up telling that she went to meet her in-laws. Amy ain't pleased with the idea of Pyong finding someone so soon. So she calls Shin Yushin right away but doesn't tell him as she feels it's better to tell him in person. She gets happy thinking that now she knew she need not feel guilty towards his daughter Jia and can happily marry her. We see the exorcist from episode 2. She's coming out of a flat from Sahyun's building. As she walks out, she sees Yajong walking in and is followed by a little child's ghost, and the child is a girl. So this is the recap of episode 11 of Love, Fate, Marriage and Divorce season 3. What do you think? Will the exorcist find about Songwon's ghost and push her out of this world or not? Do let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. See you in the next video. Until then, tata, bye bye, take care.